Hey guys, hope you're all having a great day. So today I'm going to be transplanting some roses and trying a new method of getting rid of some grass. I'm at the back of my mom's house right now, and if you watched the last video, there used to be one more rose that was here. This was transplanted yesterday, but we have 1, 2, 3 oh so easy double pink roses, and then you can barely see that one, but 1, 2, 3 at last roses. And you can see they really haven't been doing well in this spot, and it's because they're not getting nearly enough sun, and there also could be some insect or fungal issues happening. So what I'm going to be working on today is actually moving these to a much better location where they're going to be thriving, cutting back all of the spent blooms so that way they can bloom for the rest of the season, fertilize them, and then also get rid of the grass around them. And I have an interesting method that I've watched a couple videos on, and I want to try it out just to see what it's like. So these roses, like I said, are located in the back of the yard, but if I pan over to the other side, there's 2 trees that we have planted back here. One is this weeping birch, which has some denim and lace Russian sage planted around it, which that really hasn't done well this year, but that's a different story. And then this, which you can barely see, is a Kwanzaa flowering cherry. We'll get a little bit closer to this. Okay, so here's a little bit up closer with this Kwanzaa flowering cherry. We planted this tree this spring, and it's done pretty well in this spot so far. It had a great flower show, and then it leafed out, although the leaves have gotten eaten a little bit. It's not too concerning, and nothing is eating it anymore. I think it was some sort of worm or insect that ate it before it did whatever it needed to do, and they're not here anymore. So this tree's fine for the rest of the season, but you can see there's really nothing planted around it. We just did this so that way it's not right next to the grass. So what we're going to do is, because we have 3 of each rose, I'm actually just going to do a ring of these roses right around here. Don't know exactly the distance yet, but it'll probably be at least about 3 feet away from the base of this tree. So that way, as this starts to get a little bit older, they're still going to get a decent amount of sun. They might have to be moved in the end because they do want full sun, but they'll be much better in this spot than back there, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. When I plant the roses, I'm going to be using this Systemic Rose and Flower Care. This is a great product to use. It is systemic, so it's not an organic, but it does help protect and feed the roses up to 8 weeks, and it's just a granule. So I just need to apply this to each one, and I believe it's 2 capfuls per plant. After that, I'm going to place some cardboard around them, as well as this compost and manure. This is a great organic manure that the garden center that I work at carries. So I have a number of bags here, and I'm just going to place some around here to get rid of any of that grass. I'm not going to speak on this method yet because I've personally never tried it before, but this will be a great first experiment just to see how well it actually works. Eventually, what I would love to do is make some more flower beds in our area or in our yard, and add some more mulch, add some more plants in. But there's a lot of grass in our yard, and instead of renting a tool to roll it up into sod and get rid of it that way, I figured it would be a lot easier to just place down cardboard or newspaper. You can use either one. I don't know exactly what I have, but I'll just use what I have on hand for now. And then I'll place compost on top of that, and I'm not going to mulch it yet, or I might mulch a little bit around the plants. I only have 3 bags of mulch with me right now, so I'll see what I want to do with that. But then I will compost around the bags, and we'll mulch again next season when we mulch everything else, and that will really clean them up. I just want to make sure there's no grass growing around the plants for now, so there's no competition for nutrients, water, anything like that. So besides that, I will get to planting, transplanting everything, cutting it all back, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right, so it's actually a few days later, and it also just thunderstormed, so I'm wearing my rain jacket just so that way I don't get too wet while I'm doing this. But I really wanted to show you guys what this looked like. Oh, there's some more thunder now. This will be fun though. So let's take a look at the roses, and then I'll show you what I did with the hibiscus. So here you can see all of the roses. A couple of them are still blooming, which is actually really nice to see. This has opened up some more blooms, so at least it still looks really pretty. But you can see I pretty much just took out the grass that was around the edges of the rose, like kind of around the drip line. You can see it's a little bit more exposed here, and you know, these aren't looking all that great, but there is some new growth on here. That's not really new in the last couple of days, but I'm hoping that there will continue to be more. All these branches are still green though, so I'm really thinking that these are going to do well. So we'll see. But they're all around here, and then slowly but surely I will take up all of this grass or put cardboard down and then compost or mulch over it, and this will end up being quite a good sized bed actually. And I'm not really planning to put anything else around here for now. I'm just going to let it be black mulch, and then these roses will start to fill in. And then back over here, this is where I decided that I was going to try out the method of doing the cardboard with the compost on top of it. I figured this would be a better spot to put it in just because I knew that I wasn't going to be covering as much of a space, as large of a space, in order to at least get around these plants taken care of. And I only had so much compost with me, so I didn't want to overdo it with the cardboard and then just have like the cardboard exposed. But you could see that there's still a little bit on the edges, and it's mostly just because I didn't want to have the compost go over it and then into the grass and then, like, you know, feed the grass and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather have a little bit of a border there, and then I can add more cardboard off to the side so it overlaps one another, and then I can put more compost over the side. But besides that, the hibiscus are looking pretty good. Today it doesn't seem like they really have any flowers on them. This one's still blooming. This one still looks pretty good. But because of the thunderstorm, it's, you know, kind of washed this away a little bit, so those blooms aren't looking the best. But needless to say, this has filled in really well, and then these again in the next couple of years are going to start to look like it. So we'll keep extending this bed out this way. You can kind of see it kind of goes back like that. That is not the shape that I'm planning to go for. I just did that for now, but we'll eventually bring it out this way, and then maybe I can plant something smaller in front of this. Not exactly sure what yet, but maybe we'll kind of keep that tropical theme going, and I'll find something else more tropical looking that I could put in here. It looks like I haven't completely missed out on this rain because it is still raining quite a bit, but that's totally fine. I don't really mind getting wet. Besides that, that's really all I have for you in this video today. I'm going to provide updates on these roses, how they're doing the rest of the season. I'll probably end up filming some sort of garden tour maybe mid-September or so that way I can show you guys what it looks like, especially because last year I wasn't even here at this time. I was up at school. So things like the limelight hydrangeas are looking great. The echinacea that I planted, that's all going to look awesome at this time. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So hopefully those will start to flush out with some more blooms before then. And actually, there's one more thing I do want to show you, just so I can give you some faith in planting on roses. So some of you might be familiar with these two roses that are right here, and I guess this is the even better looking of the two. These were completely eaten up by something. I mean, look at this leaf. This is what the whole plant was looking like beforehand. But probably about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I treated these, and you can see all the new growth that is flushed out. You can see these aren't eaten at all. There's no issues with them, and they've started flowering again. And they have quite a number of blooms, so they're actually going to do pretty well for the rest of the season. I know the issue with the other roses was different than this one, but I just wanted to show you that once you do take care of an issue, they will come back. They're going to look better. So it's just, you know, a faith in planting, faith in what you're doing, and things will definitely improve, especially if you do it early enough on in the season. We still have a good, because it's the end of August now, we still have a full month, probably closer to like a month and a half, almost 2 months left in our growing season before it really starts to actually get cold and things really wind down for the season. So besides that, again, I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.